Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and this is the channel where I went to business school so you didn't have to, and today we are talking about Nano Dimension's NNDM stock because they have recently added another person to their board of directors, and this person is a high-tech entrepreneur that has an extremely high profile, so it's going to benefit the overall company of Nano Dimension. Then we have a quick Senseonics SENS stock update referring to their earnings report and when that would be, and if it could cause a small catalyst for the SENS stock price. Then we're going to move on to the latest announcement for Bionanogenomics BNGO stock because they recently announced and published a publication, which means that more labs are going to start adopting two Bionanogenomics OGM systems, specifically their Sapphire system. Then lastly, we're going to talk about Sofi Technologies, ticker symbol SOFI, and why this author is extremely bearish and negative about the overall company. Because on this channel, I like to present both the positives and the negatives, even if I personally like the stock, and I personally do like Sofi Technologies. So as we go through this article, I'm going to talk about the things that I agree with and the things that I don't agree with pertaining to Sofi Technologies. As usual, we're going to be going over all of the price targets and price predictions for all of these stocks, as well as the latest news updates. So for more videos like this one, remember to go and smash that like button right now, subscribe if you are new, comment your thoughts down below on Nano Dimension, Senseonics, Bionanogenomics, or Sofi Technologies, and without further ado, let's get right into today's stories. So Nano Dimension, ticker symbol NNDM, if you didn't know, is an industry-leading additive manufacturer of electronic devices, printed electronics, 3D printing, and micro-additive manufacturing. The current NNDM stock price trades for around $4 right now, which is actually a substantial boost from what the stock was trading at around 2 months ago. Right now, one analyst covers this stock, and he has a $10 price target for it overall, which is why the low-end, average, and high-end price target, according to this analyst, for the next 12 months are all $10. However, the good news for Nano Dimension is that they're adding a new person to their board of directors to replace Dr. Eli David. So the new member is going to be Mr. Rodham, and I know that's not how you pronounce his name. His name is actually a mix between Hebrew and French, but this is the way that I can actually pronounce his name. And Mr. Rodham is extremely impressive. He has been a part of extremely successful companies. For instance, he was a principal member of Visa and MasterCard Europe, which is absolutely phenomenal because Visa and MasterCard are gigantic blue chip companies that are extremely profitable. Mr. Rodham has also led other companies to achieve profitability in a very short amount of time. I also want to add that even though Dr. Eli David is resigning from the board of directors, he will continue to serve as the CTO or Chief Technology Officer of the overall company because Dr. Eli David is a huge heavy hitter and we definitely want to maintain his talent in Nano Dimension overall. Mr. Rodham also works for other companies such as HP Incorporated, 3Com Corporation, Cisco Systems, and many others. He even served as the general manager of Butterfly Communications, which was a leader in developing short-distance wireless communication, which later you probably know this technology as Bluetooth technology. Mr. Rodham also has fantastic credentials and educations. For instance, he has an MBA in Technology Management, Industrial Management Marketing, and Finance from Tel Aviv University. He also has a BSc in Electrical Engineering, and that's exactly what we want to see on the board specifically for Nano Dimension. The CEO and chairman of Nano Dimension also said this about adding Mr. Rodham to their board of directors, and he says, Mr. Rodham is a unique entrepreneur with a multidisciplinary background, spanning from advanced electronics technologies to fintech and transactional software and hardware. He is a highly experienced executive and a serial entrepreneur with extensive business development, sales management, and strategic business planning skills. He successfully spearheaded companies through entire life cycle stages: startup, accelerated growth, turnaround, initial public offering on NASDAQ, joint ventures, and M&A, which is mergers and acquisitions. The CEO goes on to say that Mr. Rodham is who we need to enhance Nano Dimension's board knowledge and support for our unique development pattern. The chairman goes on to say that we thank Dr. Eli David for his tenure on our board. Eli is continuing with his important work in the company, leading the highly intensive projects of implementing artificial intelligence, deep learning, and machine learning technologies into our various various 3D printing systems to improve yield and throughput as we advance towards machines for manufacturing of 3D parts. So overall, this is a fantastic move by Nano Dimension to add Mr. Rodham to their board of directors. Now let's move on to Senseonics SENS stock. And if you didn't know, Senseonics Holdings is a medical technology company that focuses on creating CGM systems, also known as continuous glucose monitoring systems, and Senseonics literally has the world's longest CGM system on the market right now, and it lasts up to 180 days, which just got FDA approved to be sold in the United States, which is fantastic news. But since that news came out, the SENS stock price has actually dropped, but investors can look forward to their fourth quarter and full year 2021 financial results, which are going to be released on March 1st. And this could always create a catalyst for the SENS stock price. If you would like to watch or listen to this earnings report, there is a link that will be available on Senseonics' website, which is www.senseonics.com, and you can navigate to their Investors Relations tab, and then their events and publications, and that's where you're going to find the earnings call. So I just wanted to make you aware of this small catalyst, and this is actually the same day that Sofi Technologies will be releasing their earnings report again on March 1st. I also want to say that the SENS stock price is around $2 right now, with a low-end 12-month price target according to analysts of 80 cents, an average price consensus among professionals of $3.25, and a high-end price prediction for the SENS stock in the next 12 months of $6. So if the most bullish analyst is right, you could triple your money here, but if the low-end analyst is right, the stock could continue to fall. So this decision is completely up to you. Now I want to talk about Bionanogenomics BNGO stock, because there are always good news and publications being released about this company, so I wanted to make you aware of this. Bionanogenomics is a pioneer in optical genome mapping solutions and technology, specifically revolving around their Sapphire system. This technology allows Bionanogenomics to identify chromosomal abnormalities, which can lead to better treatment and cures for various diseases. Currently, the BNGO stock trades for around $2.17. The low-end price target, according to analysts, is $6. The average price consensus among professionals is $9.88, and the high-end price prediction is $14 for the next 12 months. So this stock is trading well below what analysts think the stock is currently worth. However, this is still a very speculative company overall, but this publication just further solidifies how good their technology is. And in this publication, they demonstrated that Bionanogenomics OGM Sapphire system is a great alternative to karyotyping. Now, a lot of this is going to be scientific jargon, but I will summarize it for you after we go through the data. So the article says that chromosomal abnormalities are the most common cause of early pregnancy loss, and it happens to at least 5% of women trying to have a child. But to identify this early, physicians normally use KT, also known as karyotyping. The problem with karyotyping is that karyotyping requires cultured cells, which are very difficult to obtain in the samples that they need. However, Sapphire's OGM system is a great alternative to karyotyping because it does not require a culture cell sample. This not only makes the OGM system more consistent, it also makes it more accurate. According to the preliminary results of this study, it showed that Sapphire's OGM system, accompanied by the CMA, provided results of 93% in cases versus around only 10% using karyotyping. So OGM is substantially more consistent and more accurate. So in a nutshell, OGM is far better, more consistent, and more accurate than karyotyping, and this will allow physicians and laboratories to adopt Bionanogenomics OGM system because OGM is more accurate and more consistent. The chief medical officer of Bionanogenomics said that POC samples are some of the most challenging samples I have ever dealt with within the lab. It's frustrating and emotionally draining not to be able to get results to families asking why they had a pregnancy loss. It fills me with hope when I see indications of how OGM and other advanced molecular methods can significantly improve test success rates. The president and CEO, which is the chief executive officer of Bionanogenomics, also commented on the study, and he says that this study shows early stage work in an area that we believe may prove to be very helpful to hopeful parents struggling with pregnancy loss. There is more work to do, but the doctor and his team have brought a pioneering spirit to devising and testing this new method and the data shows that it may have a dramatic impact on analytical success rates as compared to standard workflows. So overall, bionanogenomics is just continuously proving how their OGM system is better than traditional methods, and it's just a matter of time before more labs and physicians adopt this technology from bionanogenomics. So there's a quick update on BNGO stock. Now let's talk about Sofi Technologies, ticker symbol SOFI. If you didn't know, Sofi Technologies is a fintech company that basically operates as an all-in-one bank, except it doesn't actually have brick-and-mortar locations outside of their Golden Pacific Bancorp branches. Sofi Technology currently trades for around $13. The low-end price target, according to analysts, think that the stock is worth $16. The average price consensus among professionals is $18.77, and the high-end price prediction for the next 12 months is $25, so we could almost double our money here. 11 analysts currently cover the stock, with 8 analysts saying to buy the stock and 3 analysts saying to hold the stock, while no analysts that I found said to sell Sofi Technologies stock. But why is this particular author bearish on this overall company? Well, first off, he says that Sofi stock is likely to take a big hit because the niche of cryptocurrencies are becoming unpopular right now. Investors are translating and transitioning out of cryptocurrencies and aggressive growth stocks into value stocks. This is seen because Sofi's crypto trading volume has sank more than 30% just in the month of February, and the author anticipates that this is just the beginning and it will continue to fall. He actually thinks that it could sink around 50 to 80% just in the next 2 to 3 months, and this in turn would lower Sofi Technologies' revenues that they are obtaining from crypto. However, when we look at their invest revenues, only a portion of this is cryptocurrency investments, and the other revenue is mixed in with their brokerage revenue, and that totaled around $1.23 million. And even if they cut revenue for both of these segments, $1.23 million is not going to be a significant loss for Sofi Technologies, because in quarter 3 they brought in around $277 million. So we really wouldn't even be able to feel a loss of $1.23 million in my opinion, but the author argues that crypto trading has a very high profit margin for Sofi Technologies, and this could lower their EBITDA by around 8%. And that would be a substantial decrease in their earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. But overall, I don't think that that specifically would hurt Sofi Technologies, and actually I think the opposite will happen because more and more people are adopting cryptocurrencies and it's becoming more mainstream. The second thing that the author brings up in a very bearish negative light is that their loan demand is falling. The author quotes another article from NPR which says that more than 1 million fewer students are enrolled in college now than before the pandemic began. According to new data released, U.S. colleges and universities saw a drop of nearly 500,000 undergraduate students in the fall of 2021, continuing a historic decline that began the previous fall. And the author argues that this decline could weigh very heavily on the Sofi's overall revenues, specifically for their student loan business and their refinancing business, which is where a major portion of their revenues come from. And I actually agree with him on this point. This would hit Sofi Technologies extremely hard. However, this is going to be offset by the student loan moratorium ending in the month of May right now, and this could actually increase the revenues for Sofi Technologies because Sofi Technologies has already priced in the hit of this drop in student loan refinancing and student loans in general. Lastly, the author says that Sofi Technologies app, which is an all-in-one inclusive finance app that offers anything from loans, refinancing, mortgages, insurance products, credit cards, checking accounts, to savings accounts, and a lot of other things, is not differentiated enough from other apps like Zelle. Now, I personally disagree with him on this because Sofi literally offers everything that a person would actually need, and this gives a huge competitive advantage for Sofi Technologies because they are both a fintech company, a bank, and a huge lending company. Lastly, I want to end this video on a very bullish positive note because overall, analysts are actually very excited about Sofi Technologies. For instance, TipRanks surveyed 11 analysts, and the majority of analysts have an average price target of around $18.86, which is higher than what the current stock price is. And this would give current investors around 54% upside to look forward to right now, and to me that is fantastic. They also have fantastic future growth prospects, which is why I personally own this company, and overall I am very bullish for both short-term and long-term on this company. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Remember to go and smash that like button right now, subscribe if you are new, comment what you think about Nano Dimensions, Sensionics, Bionanogenomics, Sofi Technologies, and I will see you in the next YT video.